How do you explain to non-Jews your support for Israel? The Lubavitcher Rebbe spoke a lot about the need to protect the Jewish state and our right to live in the Holy Land. He was categorically against giving away even small parts of the land of Israel. The two main arguments that he would put forth were, number one, that giving up any territories harms Israel's security. Number two, that the land of Israel belongs to us because it is given to us by God. Both of these points are 100% true, but which one of them the Rebbe was saying to who may seem to be strange. While addressing the wider world, the Rebbe insisted that every inch of Israel belongs to the Jews because God gave it to us. In conversations with dignitaries from other states and journalists, the Rebbe said we must stress that this is given to us by the Torah. When talking to Jews, on the other hand, the Rebbe emphasized the need to defend every little part of the land of Israel because of Israel's security. It seems to be reasonable to use these two arguments in reverse. Explaining to a non-Jew that our right to the Holy Land comes from our religion seems pointless. They don't believe in our religion. They probably would be better persuaded with a logical approach, and the safety of civilians is exactly that. But Jews, on the other hand, who, like you, believe in Judaism, can be told that Israel is ours because it is given to us by God. This question may be answered by a Facebook post I recently saw made by Karen Shalom Levin, the executive director of the Baltimore Zionist District. She wrote, "One thing we learned over the past few days. The world does not care about us as much as we thought. And we care about each other a lot more than we realized." Looking at recent events, we understand that the Rebbe was absolutely right about what he said to whom. Look at the UN. Look at the majority of Western media. Look at university campuses. And what about our history? Look at what happened in Europe just less than 100 years ago. Look at centuries of pogroms and brutal massacres of Jews. If there's one thing we learned from history, it is that the majority of the planet is not too worried about Jewish blood. Of course, thank God we have good friends among other nations. Israel has countries that support it, but they are always a minority. And these friends usually don't need to be convinced about Israel's territorial integrity. And those who oppose Jews' right to self-defense will not be convinced by arguments about Israel's security. Logic is always subjective and can always go both ways. If you and I operate on the same principles, then we can debate and reach a mutual understanding. But if the majority of mankind silently watched as 6 million Jews were sent to gas chambers, you cannot logically explain to them the need for Israel's safety. On the contrary, every argument creates a counter-argument. By making a logical appeal, you open the door to challenges to your basic right to exist. So how do we deal with those for whom our right to live is not a compelling argument? We tell them that we cannot give up the land of Israel because our religion prohibits us to do so. Sorry, it's a religious dogma. We cannot discuss it. In other words, they are trying to persuade us to make compromises that will inevitably lead to our demise. Trying to explain to them that these compromises threaten our lives is pointless. This is what they are trying to achieve. We must say we cannot do it for religious reasons. And by the way, at least officially, our opponents claim that they respect religious beliefs of all faiths. Well, here's our religious belief. Respect it. On the other hand, when you talk with Jews or with our friends, you can reason with them logically. We saw that the vast majority of Jews took everything going on in Israel today so personally. We thank God we're surprised to see how much every Jew cares about our country. These people need to be explained if they still don't understand that Israel cannot give up any part of its land because of security.